I want to open tonight by thanking all of the heroic Nashville police officers who went in there and neutralized the shooter. And I'm not going to play the body cam footage on YouTube for, graphic content reasons and all that. But if you watch the body cam footage, which I'm sure a lot of you guys have, there's no moment of hesitation. It was no Parkland or Uvalde where the cops just stand outside and don't do anything and let everyone massacre the school. They went in calm and poised. They clear the school room by room, no panic. They find the shooter. Boom, dropper, neutralizer. Is genuinely one of the most cunning and poised police videos I've ever seen. And it really got me thinking, and this is what I want to open with tonight. What you saw in that body cam footage was true masculinity in action. Okay? In the midst of a horrible situation, when a horrible, not masculine, not even a man was doing that, what you saw in that video is what a true man does. Okay? What a true man does is that when the time comes, you step up, you do your duty with poise and stoicism without losing your mind to emotion. And you see that in the video. They're calm, they're collected. Nobody has an emotional breakdown or a panic attack in that moment. That's how a man should be. That is how a man should strive to be. And you know what? For all of this talk about toxic masculinity and how men need to cry more, and men need to cry, men need to be in touch with their emotions. When things go wrong, when crap hits the fan, nobody wants men like that. Nobody wants a man who is in touch with his emotions. Everyone runs to the toxically masculine, emotionalist, quote unquote, men to save the day. When there's an active shooter, when barbarians are at the gate, nobody is calling on feminists. Nobody is calling on the simps. Nobody's calling on women. Frankly, folks, okay, I hate to burst your bubbles, politically incorrect or whatever to say, but let's be honest. In a situation like that, in a chaotic, desperate, life or death situation, we as human beings do not call on women. We call on the strongest men within us to step up and be strong. And it's easy to talk about feminism and gender equality when life is easy and we don't actually have real problems. But folks, as you see in that video, when things go wrong, when the barbarians are at the gate, when the shooter is in the school, everyone calls on the toxically masculine men like the ones you saw in that video. And everyone prays to God that real men will show up and not a bunch of weak men who are in touch with their emotions. Is that what you want in that situation? Do you want the cops who are running in there to be like, okay, we got this procedure, keep your cool, keep your head? Or do you want the cops running in to cry and decide they're going to take a mental health break? Oh, I can't handle this panic attack. Oh, I need a mental health check. I need to go take my panic room and my SSRIs before I go in there and save those kids. Is that what you want to rescue you in that situation, folks? Or do you want the stoic, masculine man who understands that the world does not give a damn how he feels? It doesn't matter how he feels. It doesn't matter if he wants to or not, whether he emotionally feels like it. He understands that those kids in there are dying and he has a duty to go in there and save them, whether or not he likes it. Do you think he wants to be there? Do you think any of the cops in that video wanted to be there? No, they didn't. No man, if you gave them the choice, would want to stare down the face of death. Do you think they were scared? Heck yeah, they were scared. Do you think they all had families that they knew in that moment they may never see again if they go into that school? Of course, they all knew these things. The point is that a truly masculine man, sorry feminist, sorry whoever it offends, is not in touch with his emotions, because his emotions will tell him, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I want to live. Actually, no. The truly masculine man disregards his emotions because he understands he has a duty to those kids and the world that he must fulfill whether or not he feels like it. He understands he has to go into that school. He understands he has to die in that trench. He has to storm that beach into machine gun fire, whatever it is. Not because he feels like it, but because that's his job and society is counting on him to do that job. Do you guys understand this? Okay. And then let me ask the question to the feminists. What type of man do you want to save you in that situation? Would you rather have that? Would you rather have the toxically masculine man who actually puts his emotions aside and is stoic and poised in that situation and says, it's my duty to sacrifice my life if that happens to go in and do this? Or would you rather have the little wimp who's controlled by his emotions, can't handle himself, very effeminately breaks down and loses his cool in that situation? Because the latter, and this is why I bring this all up, okay, this is why I bring this all up. The latter is the way you tell men to be. You tell men, you need to cry. You need to be in touch with your emotions. You need to be basically be like a woman. You need to be a super emotional woman at that. You need to be a nervous wreck. You know, it's okay to break down. It's okay to just abandon your duties because your mental health break, whatever. But still, when things go wrong, who do the feminists run to? They run to the very type of guy that they demonize and call toxic on a daily basis. And the type of guy that they're literally trying to erase from society. You people demand a society of weak, submissive men. But suddenly, when the barbarians are at the gates, you cry for a hero like the guys in Nashville. It's delusional. You people are naive and delusional. And while we're on this topic, we obviously understand that they want to breed a society of weak men because weak men are easier to control. But we also have to understand how they are doing this. It is not just through feminism and cultural propaganda. It is also like a literal thing going on in the food and water between all of the estrogen in plastic products. So yes, every time you drink a plastic bottle of water, put food in a plastic container, I'm not joking about this, you are consuming estrogen, which is a lot of us between all the hormones and chemicals in our food. It seems clear what is happening and why it is happening. And the numbers back this up. In America, studies show that testosterone rates are decreasing at a level of 1% per year, which I think you can literally see in Hunter Avallone. You literally see him every single year that Hunter Avallone gets older, his testosterone visibly goes down, which is why you need to not end up like that and supplement your workouts with testosterone. In short, what is testosterone? Testosterone is like steroids, except they are not steroids. They are legal. They are made out of naturally occurring substances, unlike steroids, and they are safe to use. They do not have the same nasty side effects of steroids, and you might be skeptical of that, which is understandable, but I fully encourage you. Google this, research this if you don't believe me. I was very skeptical at first when, this was brought up, but I actually looked into it, and this is true. So testosterone, again, safe to use, and it works for increasing muscle mass. It increases your energy, helps with weight loss. And the best source of testosterone are our friends today at Black Forest Supplements. And right now they're offering a 10% discount code on these supplements. There's the front of them. If you use my affiliate... If you use my affiliate link, so be sure to go and check them out at blackforestsupplements.com/Vince. Again, that is blackforestsupplements.com/Vince. 10% off for a limited time. So be sure to get yours now. Get your testosterone up. Get your strength up. Become a Chad at blackforestsupplements.com/Vince. So true. Let's get back to the feminists now, who definitely do not take Black Forest supplements. And frankly, the only reason why they are so delusional is because life is good. That's the truth about, modern life. Modern life is pretty good. And modern life is good because past generations of masculine men built you a prosperous society that allows you to basically sit back and relax in. And you all think, because we live in this moment of prosperity, because we don't have to go out every single day and actively worry about, getting mauled by like lions or getting attacked, getting invaded by an enemy army. You think that, the laws of nature suddenly don't apply to us anymore. Suddenly the law of the jungle that just doesn't exist anymore. And so this is why we don't need patriarchy and strong men, because we're above that now. We don't need that anymore. Why do we need to have strong men physically and mentally when we have technology? The technology will save us. The pod life will save us. The problem is that's not true, right? Just because we're a little bit sheltered by modern luxury does not mean that the real laws of nature went anywhere. It doesn't mean that the brutal realities of Earth ever stopped being realities. They're still here. And as you saw in Nashville, it doesn't take much. little click of a button, basically, to be suddenly thrown in a situation where all your delusion and feminist ideology and all that crap falls apart, and it's once again the law of the jungle, and once again you are faced with the brutal reality of Earth. We have not escaped human nature. We have not escaped reality. Man is still fallen. Bad stuff still happens all the time on this earth. It can happen to you. And the moment that that bubble bursts, feminism falls apart, doesn't it? And isn't it interesting? That's how you know feminism and all these ideas are basically in denial of reality, because the moment you break down the bubble a little bit, not even saying it's a good thing, obviously it's a terrible thing that stuff like this happens, but the moment stuff like that does happen, the bubble immediately bursts. Immediately, all of a sudden, these people all revert back to the human nature of needing, not just wanting, needing a strong man to step up and lead and save the day. And God bless the Nashville police, and thank God seriously that men like that still exist and stepped up to go in and neutralize that threat and save those kids. But guess what, feminists? Guess what? What happens if you win, hypothetically, which you never will because you're fighting against reality? But in theory, what would happen if you guys all won? What would happen if society got to the point where all the men really were that weak and there's no heroes anymore? Who's going to come and save you? Who's going to come and save you when the criminals attack or the invaders invade, whatever happens? Nobody. Nobody is going to come to save you because you turned all the men into women because you said that's what you wanted. You will literally have nobody left to protect you because you neutered and destroyed all of the men who, planned on protecting you. And the more that the feminists win, the harder it's going to be to call on men like the Nashville police. Think about it. Because when real men are everywhere, it's no problem, right? You can rely on the fact that your firefighter, your cop, whatever, he's going to step in, he's going to do what he needs to do. But when they're a tiny minority of society, how do you know that the police officer is actually going to step in and save your life and be that type of man? How do you know that? How do you know the soldier you need to send to war is actually going to be able to handle it? You don't. That's the thing. You don't have any clue. And that is why feminism is such a fundamentally dangerous and insane idea, and it will destroy us all if we're not careful. No exaggeration. Oh, let me check the time. What time is it? It's time for you to get a watch, first of all. And secondly, it is time for you to like and subscribe to the channel. So, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and check out the full Vince Dao show live every weeknight at 8 p.m. Eastern time. It is the premier political show on the American right. This is so true. This is so true. It's time for you to go watch it. Check us out, 8 p.m. Eastern time every weeknight.